Hey guys, welcome to another video. So in this video, we're going to be showing you how to make a leader stats with save data on and how to add a little extra stuff to it. So you want to obviously go to game settings and turn on API services for data store to work, and you have to put a script into script service. So let me just go ahead and script this, and then we can start the video. Okay, I literally just scripted something, and this is what we have to put in server script service. Now, let me explain the script and how to use it. So let's just start line by line. Local data store service. When you do local, it's like a variable. You can use it whenever you want, and you can make it equal anything you want. Not anything all the time, but you can make it equal stuff and use it later on. It's really cool, and it's very, very useful. Literally everybody uses it. If you don't use it, then you can't do much because there's tons of stuff that you can do with it. So this local variable, it equals game, so the whole entire game, and then get a service, data store service. So now this is a local. Now there's another local, it's called datastore, equals the last local right here, and then get the service from there, and then data save. So it's pretty much getting the data store service, and then it's getting the data save. So now we are good. Okay, all we gotta do now is look at the main part of it. So the leader stats part is going to be up here. There is a data save here and here. Those are the only two data save parts of this script. So let's just get into it and basically start. I'm gonna make this 0, and I'm pretty much just gonna explain everything. So game, the whole game, and then players, you know, all your players in the game, not local. So player added when somebody joins a game, and then connect to that player. I'm gonna undo that. Okay, and then a function, it's pretty much something that can be called for, and then the player is right here. And then it ends right here. This end goes with this. So now that we have local leader stats, you know, variable, it equals so pretty much it equals instant.new folder player. So in the player, a new folder is made, and it's leader stats. The local is leader stats. Leader stats.name is leader stats. So now the folder is called leader stats. You can call this leader stats whatever you want. It's just the name that everybody likes to use. So, and then local rebirth equals instance.new int value leader stats. So basically, this local is telling you that a new int value will be put into leader stats, and this will be rebirth. And then the rebirth name will be called rebirth. Rebirth value is 0. So I basically have two data save things for the script now. So let me just explain them. Local data equals data store. We have a local up here called data store. Get async player.user_id. So pretty much it's getting the player, and then it's the local player, and then it's getting the user ID, so it can pretty much give you your save data. So if data, then pretty much if you have data, then rebirth value, so your rebirth value equals data.rebirth. So the data.rebirth. And this one, pretty much this end ends the if statement, and this end ends this whole function right here. Right here. So now that we have game.players.player removing, so pretty much if the game.players, if any player leaves, then you do another function. So data store, we go up here, data save, and then set async, it gets a user ID again, and then rebirth, it takes that leader stats, and then player.leaderstats.rebirth.value. So this is how it works. I tried to explain it as good as I can, and now I'm going to tell you how to add more leader stats to your script. So all you got to do is local. You have to do another local, and let's just call this cache. Oh, not like that. Okay, cache equals instance dot new, and then you do, you know, a string. So you put those in, and then int value, you put in int value, and then you put in a comma or whatever you want to call it, and then you put in leader stats, and it should be right there. So now that you have a local, now you have to name it and give a value to it. So all you gotta do is take your local, whatever you called your local function, or whatever you want to call it. So your local is right here. Whatever you called that, you do cache dot name, and you can name this whatever you want. But I'd rather name it, if you're gonna name something, right? If you're gonna go here, I would recommend you naming this whatever your local is. That's what I do, but this is pretty much what it is. There's rebirth, and then you put in rebirth. So now we have to do cache dot value. Now cache.value, you can make this equal whatever you want. And the player, pretty much what happens is whatever you make the value, that's what when the player joins the game, that's how much they're going to have when they join the game. So, to make your cache save, then all you have to do is you go here, you go to where it says rebirth.value equals data rebirth, or whatever you put in there, and then you put in cache.value equals data.cache. You just put in whatever your thing is, whatever your leader stats is. You can even choose not to have saved data for some of them by not even adding them. That's actually really cool. And I think it's good to have all of this in one script, because if you have this all in one script, it's just less space in the server script service. So, now what we gotta do is one last thing. We go to the part where it says rebirth, and then equals player.leaderstats.rebirth.value with a semicolon, and press enter, and you basically copy that whole thing. So let me just copy and paste right there. You have to name this whatever your other thing is, and then name this part cache. And you can name this these whatever you want, but basically your leader stats will save. As you can see, if I join the game, it will put it on. So basically, yeah, we have cache equal rebirth equals 0 and cache equals 0. And if we were to stop this game and we were to change it, so say we change the value, I would make this 0, but then, no, I would make that 1, and then I would make this 150, and then I would name the leader stats, I could name the leader stats LS, and then I could name the rebirth RH, I'll just name it R, and then I'll just name that. So now if we join the game, because what we did is we just changed the names of them, and then we just changed the value. So if we join the game, let's see what happens. Okay, so we joined the game, and as you can see, yeah, it doesn't show it, but you still have it. You just don't have the leader stats because that's what it has to be called. So let's put in the leader stats again, leader stats, and let's see what happens if we keep the leader stats as leader stats. So as you can see, the leader stats does work now. You get 1 rebirth and then 150 cash, and it says R and C. So just a lesson learned, you never want to change this to another name. It's always going to be leader stats, because if it's not leader stats, then the game doesn't recognize it, and then it won't show. You'll still have cash and rebirth, you just can't see it unless you have a GUI showing it. So I hope you guys like this video, and yeah, you can pretty much do anything you want with this. It will save, and it works perfectly. Remember, you have to have API services on. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.